this point. This OTA period, it's all about gaining trust with one another and sharing our goals with each other and stuff like that. So it's been nice to hear from him. Excited to get the ball rolling for sure.
How have you seen him be a leader of that rookie class?
Yeah, it's almost like his presence. He just carries himself a little bit different. You see the way he works, you see the way he walks and talk to people. In this locker room, I feel like our front office has done a really good job of not getting really good players, but also really good people. So Jalon definitely fits that mold, and just excited to see what he can do for us this year on the field.
You mentioned your goals. What are your goals?
Yeah, my goal is to be the best leader on this team. All the All-Pro, all the Pro Bowl, all that stuff will come when we win. And I truly believe that. That's not a focus, of mine, which is fine. I want everybody in this building should want to be an All-Pro, Pro Bowler, or whatever it is. But I think the team goal is a little bit more, means a little bit more at this point. When you're able to share that with people that you come to work with every day, it can mean a lot because you can hold people accountable to what they want to, accomplish, and that tends to lead to really good teams. So I'm excited for it.
One thing Mike was just talking about that I thought was interesting is he's mentioning a couple different times during a game where you've tapped him and say, hey, watch this, it's coming. I know the cerebral aspect of your game is something you've always kind of prided yourself in, but when did that shift for you where you were focused on seeing things before they happen, and how much pride do you take in that?
Yeah, that's what really good safeties do. You get everybody on the same page, and it's something that I've been doing since I was in high school. Maybe at a higher level now, but just always having an understanding of what a safety is and what it really means to a defense. Whether I just talk about emotions about to come, it just keeps everybody calm, keeps everybody under control, and make sure that we can get to the next call, or guys can play a little bit more aggressive play style, and that's what we should be. We should be aggressive in everything we do, but to do that, you got to be prepared. You got to be able to call out things before they happen, and it's not just me. It's other guys as well that call out different stuff. So I appreciate Mike giving me some love, but it's a little bit of everybody.
I know you've talked a lot about Caden being able to do that in the past, how he can see a lot of things play out before they even happen. What is it about Caden that helps keep this defense calm as well?
Yeah, it's just he's on a level ahead of me, so he's a little bit closer to the line, and Caden's a great leader. We came here together. They brought us here to be leaders, to be the leader of the defense. And Caden's played 7+ years in this league, and he has brothers on brothers in this league. So they know football. They're really good football players. And like I said, when you got multiple guys like that on the field that can communicate and stay ahead of the call, it's very valuable.
There's so much talk about your leadership. So what does a good leader look like to you, and maybe who has kind of been someone that you've looked up to or has helped you become that leader?
Yeah, leadership can be in all different forms. You can be a leader at home, you can be a leader in the community, you can be a leader in the locker room. I just think that person sets the tone. That's kind of what I think about. When I have my son, I'm like, all right, I'm the leader of this house. I need to set the tone for this house, and you do that by the stuff that you do every single day. It's not all about just being about the talk and being hyping everybody up. The motivation is not gonna last, and what you do and what you show your peers and your coaches, and that's what leadership is. Doing it every single day, not when everybody's watching. That's what leadership is, and that's what I've embraced, and that's why they brought me here. So I'm stepping in that role in every aspect of my life, and I'm just super grateful that I'm in this position.
What have your early impressions been just working with Jeff Albrecht? I know it's still early, not doing a lot, but just what has it been like working with him?
Yeah, I said this before, very much linebacker oriented, demanding. I love it. It's just been, the meetings are unbelievable. The way that he's teaching the positions, teaching our defense to get not just understand your job, but get a whole understanding of how are we trying to attack as a defense. I think that will go a very long way when you can play 4 different coverages and it all looks the same. But if you don't talk about that during the install, then we don't know it should all look the same. So I think he's just done a really good job of being really detailed, and the way that he's installed our whole OTAs has been pretty impressive, and I'm just excited. That's the type of linebacker that I would love to play with, and he's holding everybody accountable to that standard. And like I said, we're just slowly building it. And the heart, we talk about it all the time. He talks about the heart, the mind, and the fist. And we can't really do the fist right now and be physical, but we can show each other and get connected with each other in this room, and show our heart for each other, and then our mind, and understanding what the play calls are, and understanding what can come off of different plays. And then, like I said, the fist will come when we get back here for training camp. We're going to be on fire. It's going to be exciting.
Jesse, you guys have 4 rookies on defense. It looks like they're going to play an awful lot this season.
Yep.
How long is it going to be for them to get up to the standard that you think they need to be in order for you guys to be successful?
Yeah, I think they're there now. That's what this OTA session is for. They'll stay here for another week as well to get a little bit more meetings. But that's what this OTA is for, is to pick up the urgency of understanding the defense, and picking up the urgency of how to practice, how we jog through. All that stuff is important because, like you just said, they're going to play a lot of snaps, a lot of important snaps, and we're not just going to baby them into it. We got to pick it up now before the train leaves. So excited for those guys. All those guys are more than great players. They're great people that understand the game. So I have no doubt they'll have a lot of success this year.
Is there anything about any one of them that has surprised you on the good? Like, so, boy, I didn't realize he could do this or do that, or what have you?
Yeah, I mean, all of them. I get to work with X a little bit every day. I get to see him every day. So I will point out X just to see how he operates, the way that he sees the game, and how we're installing and stuff, and it comes easy to him. But it has to translate to the field. We got to teach X how to practice like a pro. He's already a pro mentally, but we just got to continue to stay on him, and just the small details. Even when we're jog through, make sure you bend your knees, get in the tackle position, and I know he'll be a great player, and I'm excited to lead him.
I thought it was interesting when talking with Bajan, like, who's he mentored kind of during this time, and he said it was Jalon and James, guys on the other side of the ball.
Yep.
So I didn't know, are you kind of mentoring anyone, and is it anyone maybe on the offensive side that you've been helping?
Me and Mike our lockers are next to each other. We were heavy defense in the draft, so there's not a lot of young offensive guys. Some of the undrafted guys have walked up to me asking, how can I separate myself? The answer is you just got to gain trust. You got to be able to, when your number's called, you got to be out there and know your assignment, line up the exact way that the install says. And like I said, you got to be able to have that trust in the meeting room and then apply it out here on the field. So it's been a little different for me. I'm not talking to our O-lineman draft pick about cover 2 or anything, but leadership is something that is every day. Whether we're just having a normal conversation with me and Penix, or me just talking to Kurt, even the other day, just talking about coverages and how he sees things. So yeah.
What's it been like having DeMarco Hollins back from his injury and at practice?
Yeah, Marco had a tough year last year, and that's someone I've grown close to over the years, and I'm just so excited for him, just to watch all these videos he was sending me up during the offseason and see his progress of how bad he really wanted to get back out there last year, but he couldn't. He's like the aggressor of our room. He's pissed off right now. He's not very happy. We call him Bam Bam. He's not a happy guy right now, and he's always moving with bad intentions and just wanting to go hit somebody. And you need that on a football team. And Marco's grown, like I said, not just as a player, but as a person as well. It's just exciting to see him grow up and continue to be a professional.
I feel like we haven't seen enough of him yet at the NFL level because of the injury. So what is he like, and what is his potential on the field?
Yeah, Marco, like I said, last year, 2 years ago when he got here, the way that he picked up on things, it was just very natural. I was surprised that he was a 7th round draft pick. And then he went out there and performed and showed that he can be a starter in this league. And like I said, last year, it was just that unfortunate injury, first preseason game, hurt my heart to this day. But to watch how he worked and the way that he responded to it, that's what men do. He's a true professional. I'm just excited to watch all the hard work that he put in to get to where he is now, to translate to the field and help his football team.
How does he like the nickname Bam Bam?
It makes him even madder, but he's embraced it, and that's what he is to our safety room. And when he's out there, when we put on pads, you'll know Marco Hellens is out there.
You went up against Mike a lot last year,
Does he know who Bam Bam is?
Yeah.
That's old school.
Yeah, it's old school. These guys, not kids, but these guys are 2000 babies. So they don't know too much, but yeah, he knows it. Marco's pretty hip.
You went up against Mike a lot last year in practice. What makes him special as a quarterback?
Yeah, Mike is just super poised, and the dude can make every throw on the football field, whether he's off balance or anything. One thing I think that I've noticed since day one is how he controls his eyes, and just how calm he is when he's back there. I'm trying to read him. It's an eye battle, me and him staring at each other, but to watch him go through his whole progression and get to his last read, that's pretty impressive for a young quarterback. He was doing that stuff last year. So to watch him come in this year and be a little bit more vocal, he's actually talking a little bit junk to our defense a little bit as well, and it's been good to see him step into that role, QB1 role, embrace it. I know there's a couple of uncomfortable situations that he was in. I think he learned from it. And Kirk is still to this day being a great leader for him, and an open arm for him with any question that he needs. So, the one thing I would say, Mike's eyes, man, his eyes are insane, and he could be looking the other side of the field, and then he rips it right out to the opposite side. So, very impressed with Mike for sure.
You're speaking what it is. Good quarterbacks look safeties off at a high clip.
Yep.
Does he do that to you at a high clip?
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I hate to agree to that, but yeah, I mean he's been doing it since last year on scout team, and scout team you don't have as much pressure on you and stuff like that, but to watch him go with the ones and just to see him do the same stuff, I always ask him like, hey, do you see me? Do you see me right there or not? And he's just like, yeah, I see you. So he's just an ultimate pro. He'll continue to get better every single day. Like I said, that's QB1. He's acting like it, and excited for his year.
With Jalon, what's a moment that he's really shown that leadership?
I would just say the way he approaches meetings, and he's sitting in there the first couple rows just locked in, and next thing you know you see James right behind him. I think that goes a long way. You wrap your arm around somebody and you just go to work, and that's what he's done.
Raheem has talked about you kind of being with James a lot, James Pearce Jr.
Yeah.
What can you tell us just about him, who he is as a guy?
Solid dude, hard worker right now, and just being a sponge. I said that about the rookies last time. A lot of them just like sponge, like all want to learn, come in and make an impact early. But James in particular, he's just somebody who come in with good energy every day. Still learning the rookie ways and things like that, but just having people like myself and also JB right there, we all in the same corner and be able to chop it up and give him some game going in.
Ross made mention that he thought that that JPJ reminded him a bit of you coming out of college in terms of temperament and kind of just a bit more quiet, a bit more reserved, just letting everything happen on the field, do the talking. Do you feel that when you're around him?
For sure, you know. But like me and him, we, like if you get to know me more and stuff like that, we all open up. Yeah, like even that's him though. Right now he, opened up. He'll say some stuff that he wouldn't, of course, say here and nothing like that. But everybody come out of their shell when they're around their comfort zone.
Yeah, you talked about rookies a little bit. How have you seen kind of, all the rookies progress from like the start of maybe like rookie OTA? I mean, obviously you weren't here for that, but rookie up to this point.
It's been good. I'll just say from a defense standpoint, that's the majority of the picks, but they all have been hard, just coming in daily, just working. Haven't really had no type of bug going in about the ones who don't want to work or anything like that. They all want to come in and, like I said, make an impact.
Do you think having like a new system under Albrecht is helping them because it's like everybody's kind of learning too?
Exactly. We all learning together, so the questions that I may ask to the coach that they may not want to ask and things like that, it's all vice versa. And then, we come out here, be at the house or whatever, we'll tap in and check. Man, here, there you go right there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's him right there. So, yeah, he done made me forget. The rookies all good though. Yeah, we all be asking questions and checking in and vibing, man. That's how I go on defense. We all got to be on the same page from the D-line all the way to the back end.
To that end, talk to a lot of defensive front guys about the attack style front that they want to have. As you're watching them work and implement what they're doing up front in front of y'all, what does that mean for you guys in the secondary and what they're doing?
It's big, just knowing the emphasis of the defense, just with the pass rush, with the back end, with making plays, getting a lot of turnovers. Last year we didn't have a lot of turnovers, but we played pretty solid. But just having that whole new aura of Coach Brick coming in, everybody wanting to be the best defense in the league. So we all, like I said, just picking each other's brain, just trying to make sure we all on the same page in OTAs. So when we come back for camp, we leaving off where we left off right here. So, that's just how I go.
How do you think those guys in front of you are going to look different this year?
Like, what you mean by
defensive line, what do you think they're going to look different? You talk about this attack front and how the pass rush is an emphasis. How do you think that's going to improve or look different?
Just that mindset. It's the mindset, just not settling. Also, everybody just having that next man up mentality. I don't know how the D-line go majority of the time because I'm always outside, but I know it's a lot of rotations and things like that go on. But just everybody just wanting to make an impact and holding each other accountable and making plays is the main thing.
First of all, just how does it feel going through mandatory minicamp? Does it feel any different at all since OTAs?
No, it doesn't. The grind is the grind. It was a great OTA, great minicamp with the guys, and I enjoyed the process and experiencing the process with the guys as well.
I thought it was interesting. Raheem talked about he's more of the police officer going around and making sure no one's going too fast, too hard. Are you one of those guys? Or are you having a little bit of fun out there, or things
I'm always having fun, but I still confined by the rules and regulations that Coach Morris instills.
Raheem mentioned that Jessie Bates is a guy that's been kind of taking you under his wing a little bit, that you guys have been chatting. What has that been like, and what's your respect level for a guy like Jessie Bates?
Man, Jessie Bates is a salty veteran in this league, and the way he took me underneath his wing, everybody. He's just a leader for our team. He's someone that we look up to, someone we look to for help and advice, and someone that has set the standard so high that no one has the choice to but follow it.
What do you feel like you've learned on James so far?
James is a great guy. Me and James grow close and close every day. I know that he always wants to get better, and he prides himself on his work.
I'd say, how helpful is it having two rookies in similar positions in the same room? Has that been nice and reassuring?
Yeah, it has. We teach and talk to each other a lot. We go over the things that we need to go over, and we help each other out most definitely.
Have you noticed he's more a little bit soft-spoken in bigger crowds and more personal one-on-one? Raheem was mentioning that to us, that he doesn't like bigger settings, but he's more personal.
Yeah, James has a great personality. He opens up when he wants to, but I appreciate the relationship I have built with him.
What does your now time away when the next 5 weeks kind of look like, and kind of how will you manage that to prepare for training camp?
Right, just getting settled in a little bit more, with moving and things like that. And of course, just keep working and keep grinding and staying in shape and staying sharp and things on my craft and playbook, just so when we get to training camp, everything's well.
Saw you at the handshakes with Rook, and I think it was Leonard Floyd as well. You clearly have a good relationship with those guys up front already. How has that grown?
It's grown every day. Just having that space just to be able to connect with these guys and learn each other's guys' names and where they're from and where their background and how they play and just what they do on a day-to-day basis. That's how you build and grow relationships and connections throughout the team.
What do you think is going to be sneaky good about this defensive line?
The connection piece. I think we're well connected, and I always knew and learned from an old guy named Coach Smart that a connected front is the best front, and the way we attack the ball together is what we do well.
And because Coach Smart practice fast, practice hard, I know Allison was asking you a little bit about, is it hard to take that away from you? How are you trying to not go as fast, not go as hard, since it's not training camp quite yet?
It's, you hone in on your technique and your fundamentals and where you place your hands and your footwork. Things like that is what you make up for the speed. And once training camp comes, you just put everything all together.
What makes you guys connected, though? And what do you do to become connected?
Right, just that piece of not just being
All right, man, appreciate you.
black and white of, hey, I just know this guy's name. We actually spend time and actually talk to each other just in the lunchroom, like getting lunch, catching up, talking, doing this, doing that, dinner, things like that is just way we connect. And I feel like a connected team is what makes the team stronger. You know, just not only just the X's and O's and the guys on the roster, but when you truly and learn and know the guy.
Penix said he took up golf to kind of really get connected and kind of to know the guys. Is there anything that your group or unit does specifically that you've had to learn? Or
Not of yet, but we plan to do some big things with the D line room and the OLB room.
Golfing? No.
I golf. I don't know about those guys, but maybe I'll take up Mike P's offer. You know, go golfing. So.
We've heard a lot from a bunch of guys about the attack style front that Jeff Ulbrich really wants to implement with you guys. When we can say that all day long, but what does that realistically mean as y'all are kind of getting all of the info from the head up at this point in time during camp?
Right. It allows us to play a lot more free and a lot more with technique, but on a smaller level. It helps us attack the offensive line and the gaps and things, but it makes it clear for the secondary to fill in those gaps for us.
Does this feel like more of a grind? Just like you're coming up to a break, because right when you were done college, you went into the combine, then you went into rookie minicamp town. Do you feel like you're looking forward to this break? Have you noticed that?
Not really. I'm a day-to-day moment type guy, so I'm just appreciating the moment that we just got to spend our last day at minicamp together, and then I guess we'll worry about the break tomorrow.
Jalen, I know you're getting to know James Pearce Jr. You've talked about him already, but there are some other defensive guys that got drafted as well. What have you learned from your other rookie classmates?
Yeah, Xavier Watson and Billy Bowman, those guys are elite. I really just, that relationship that all the rookies have had, from the undrafted guys to our free agent guys to all of us who got drafted as well, we just, we're very tied in together from the times that we spend a little longer just for my rookie development meetings and things like that. But we get to know each other ins and out, and it's just a great way to see and watch everybody excel on their own level and their personal level when we see those clips in practice.
How would you describe Nate Ollie's coaching style?
Fun. He's energetic. He's something that everybody should have. You know, a very personable coach, a guy who will put his best foot forward for everybody, and just have the idea of that assault and attack front and put it on another level on the scale he's an expert in.
Raheem mentioned that he sort of sees you as a future leader of this team. Where do you think that aspect comes from?
I feel like that's just because the way I carry myself and the way I vow myself on just not being regular to the guys. I really want to know the guys. You know, being at Georgia all my time, that's something that we prided ourselves on, of knowing everybody in the building, and that's what I try to do every day. Just getting to know everybody in the building, from the security all the way down to Coach Morris. Just from the backhand, just getting to know everybody.
How much time do you think you'll spend at UGA? Just because it is, back down the road, not too far away. Do you think you'll kind of separate yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. Time will tell. Maybe I'll come down soon, but I'm not sure.
What's your relationship with Jalon like?
Oh, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the only, not tooting any horns now, but I ain't the only first round guy here. So, you feel me? We get to share the pressure a little bit, share the experiences, share the ups and down days. So, yeah, that's cool.
How do you guys lean on each other during this time?
Yeah, more like what I said. It's his first time out here. You know what I'm saying? First round in the NFL. Me, same thing. So that's how we can just lean on each other. We connect well and just, what's the word I'm looking for? That word, whatever that word is.
Yeah, you mentioned the group being really connected and how you guys really put an emphasis on that. How do you go about building that connection?
I feel like that how you go about building a connection, just like working every day, showing up, pulling the best out of him, he pulling the best out of me. So just competing that way.
That's pretty unique, that situation, right? Two first-round guys who played the same position in the same place.
Yeah.
I mean, and you guys can feed off each other and play at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like about that?
Everything about it. You know what I'm saying? We get to share the days. Just sharing the days. Even though we in our own lane, we got our own goals set out of us, and our career going to look different or the same in some ways. It's a starting post for one another.
I don't know if you've been asked about AJ yet, but clearly you guys have a good relationship. Saw you shouting at him. You kind of derailed him for a second, but he liked it.
Yeah.
What is it about that relationship with AJ that's kind of helped you come along in the offseason so far?
Just everybody been down to earth around me. Everybody want to win. Everybody got the common goal. We're not trying to be flamboyant about it. That's the type of guy I am. I'm not really flamboyant. I just want to let the tape and everything else around me speak louder than all the words I say. So.
How would you describe the way Nate Ollie coaches?
Oh yeah, he just want to see us get off the ball and go make plays, play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. But, yeah.
It looks like you've been hitting the weight room a little bit since you've been here the last few weeks. Have you been putting on some size?
Oh yeah, I put on a little bit of weight.
Yeah. Is that a focus for you to put on some more weight? But more muscle?
It happened more so naturally, like during the combine process and stuff. During the combine process, I came light into the combine, but I was already trajecting towards this way. It's just getting used to playing at the weight.
Got it.
What are you up to?
I haven't set on anything specific yet. I'm still playing around with it, trying to find a sweet spot. But yeah.
I'm sure you probably were asked, but what has just been the dynamic between you and Jalon? How have you been getting to know each other? You said it's a really connected group. So what has made it so special between you guys in this group?
Yeah, just like I was trying to get the word out, it's relatable. Yeah, so yeah, we just relate in plenty of ways, like whether it's us getting drafted in the first round, and then us just doing our job and what we asked to do, and just us being rookies in here. So we can lean on each other that way too.
I thought it was interesting. I was talking to Bajan, like he said he wanted to take a bigger leadership role, and he said he's
One more time?
I've been talking to Bajan, and he said he wants to take a bigger leadership role. He said one of the guys he's been mentoring is Jalon, and also yourself. What has it been like having Bajan, who's on the completely other side of the ball, be a mentor to you?
Yeah, it just opened up like a vision of foresight, see things, because like when I got drafted, the first person who really hit me up was Bajan. You know what I'm saying? He hit me up and told me congrats and like let's get to work, let's really do it. So just even from that day, since drafted, he really been there along the way. So
and how
it's been great.
How has he helped you at all? Like, I mean, is he kind of breaking down things that he's doing, kind of helping you a little bit on what he's seeing or you're seeing and things like that? Like, where's that mentorship going?
It really goes to like more I was saying, like none of us just really flamboyant about how we say or like what we doing, but we can sit back and watch and be like, that's how you supposed to do it. This the way we supposed to move as one. So it's really never a lot of not too much talking going on, a lot of action. Yeah.
Awesome. What have you enjoyed about the off season and OTAs and things like that? We always say it's a grind, but what have you just enjoyed about it?
Yeah, it's also a grind. Most people say it's like football right on top of each other because I come from college, but to me, I pretty had a good chance to miss it a little bit. So in college, you don't get that much chance to miss football, whether it's spring workouts, winter workouks. Gave me a little chance to miss it, so I'm glad I'm right back on top of it.
What does your break look like now? 5 weeks coming up. Just what will you do? Will you take some time away? What's that for you?
Just be the best person. Just do what's best for it. When I come back, I'll be the best player I can be.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Meetings that they've kind of talked about sliding you to slot a little bit. Have you played there at all this summer at all? Has it been outside mostly?
Yeah, it's been mostly outside. But whatever they want to do, I'm always willing to help the team. I got some familiarity in that position, so whether they want to throw me in there or not, it's whatever they think is best for the team, and I'm willing to do it.
What do you enjoy about playing with AJ?
AJ, he brings out the best of the whole group. Really, we see what he do on the field. He sets the example. The standard is very high in the room, and he's a big part of that. And so, we respect him and everything he does and how hard he works, and it just carries over, and it adds that chip to everybody's shoulder in the room.
Were you pleased with how you played last year?
I know I could play a lot better. I think I had a decent year. Like I said, I want to build off of it. I want to get my hands on more balls, get some actual interceptions, and help create turnovers, and that'll help bring wins as well. So yeah.
What kind of a leader is Jessie Bates, would you say?
Man, Jessie leads by example. He's vocal. He's a guy that he puts the work in. He studies real hard, and he's just a natural born leader. You kind of got to be around him to feel the aura, but he's just all around, bro. I can't really say enough about him and what he does for this team, and like you said, his leadership is huge. He does it in many ways. It's hard to kind of pinpoint one style of it, but he does a great job of it.
What's your best Jessie Bates story?
This is some off the record type of question.
It's just us, just between friends.
I don't really got one for you right now.
All right.
You gotta ask me that next time.
All right.
What is it about Jessie's football IQ that you think differentiates himself from other guys in the league?
Because no disrespect to Jessie, but he's far from like the most athletic guy on the field. He studies so hard, and his anticipation is off the charts. He sees plays before they happen, and sometimes when I'm out there on his side, he'll be like, "Hey Mike, watch this, it's coming," and sure enough, the same exact play will come that he's talking about, and so just having that kind of trust and belief in him and the things he's able to do, it helps us so much better in our confidence.
That's an example of his leadership, obviously. How often is Jessie kind of tapping you on the shoulder during a game and being like, "Hey, watch this"?
We're pretty much talking every play, but it's
not so often, but a few times he'll be like, he knows exactly what's coming, and I'm always on board with it, and it usually happens. So, yeah.
How does that make you better?
It builds trust in the room. It helps me, key in on certain things that I may not see and that he sees. So, just help filling in those missing holes that I may not see and that he does. So that's how it helps.
How do you think this defense is going to look different this year?
We're a lot younger. I see a lot of guys are hungry. I think we got a lot to prove, and everybody knows it. So, each day we're just coming out here working our tails off, just perfecting our craft, and hopefully it'll carry over in the training camp.
It seems like these younger guys, the rookies, are super hungry. They're guys that want to work hard. Who stood out to you in that room, and how excited are you to watch them kind of grow throughout this offseason?
Really, honestly, I could say all of them kind of came in with the same mindset. Yeah. Kind of hard to pinpoint one guy, but everybody's kind of been on board. Everybody's already bought into the process, and I think, like I said, it'll carry over in the training camp. You got to see.